Hello guys and welcome to the channel. I am Mar. This is Readings by Marvelous Madame Tarot, and this is going to be, as you saw by the thumbnail, a quick weekend update for all 12 signs. Now, typically, now that we're bringing some of those weekend updates back, we're just going to be pulling 3 cards to get energy on what you could be experiencing. I am going to be throwing in 2 major aspects that's going to be going on in the sky. I do have posters or like a quick snippet of what you may be going through specifically on Instagram. Just find your sign. I would suggest watch for your rising and your sun. I'm going to be telling you where the square is going to be happening, but I'm not going to be going into detail with it. I will also put that information below. So if you want to go in the description box and take a look at where it's going to be hitting you, you can do that. 2 major things going on. This is just not a regular weekend update. I'm going to be getting your energy, but I just want to let you know we have 2 major things. One is Venus is squaring Mars. And there's going to be a write-up below, but it's basically going to be frustration going on. And then we have the sun opposed Neptune, okay? So I'm going to be telling you where we're going to be going. This will be time stamped, and this is going to be your energy. I'm throwing in Friday. I'm going to call it the weekend update, but I am specifically throwing in Friday. If you're interested in the weekly update as far as your energy, that's already out there, and it will be linked below in the description. And right now we're going to go ahead and start with Aries. Aries, you are going to be in your solitude, and that came out for you. Now Aries, Mars is squaring Venus, and your Mars is in your 3rd house of communication, and your Venus is in your 6th house of service. So it's going to be basically 2 mercurial things going on for Aries suns and Aries risings, and these are going to be squaring off. Okay, solitude is it is the energy that your energy is pulling down. What else do we have for Aries spirit? We have focus. There's a lot of things that have you off your game lately. You are not appreciative of that. You feel like you can't get right. You can't get back up. You can't do what you're supposed to do. And you're not liking that too much, Aries, okay? What else do we have? What else do we have for Aries? These are really interesting to shuffle. Show me for Aries suns and risings. And we also have happiness. So it looks like in the past, you have maybe tried to stay by yourself. In present energy, you are focusing more on you because you're trying to set yourself up for your future happiness. And that's the end of it. Past, present, and future energies here. So again, your energies are solitude, focus, and happiness in the 3 cards. And that is what we have for you. Let's move on to Taurus and Taurus rising. Taurus, this is happening for you. And Mars will be in your 2nd house of you. That's where you are. And it's going to be opposing or squaring, Venus in the 5th house. Something with money and happiness. I know that. Something with money and happiness. This is your story. Again, if you're interested in that write-up, it's going to be on Instagram. And I will be letting you know what the Mars versus the Venus will be below. Let's go ahead this weekend and talk about possible past energies. Past energies looks like potential, okay? So there was something that you wanted to happen. The potential was there, but it possibly did not go off or come off the way you wanted. And we also have focus. Focus was in the present energy for Aries. So you could be crossing with an Aries sun, moon, rising, and sun, moon, rising, and Venus, although this from a zodiac perspective will be more for risings and suns. In your present energy, you are experiencing an energy of relaxation, possibly this weekend. I'm telling you, it's going to be tense. There's going to be some type of money story going on, or some money issues that are going to be on the brain. Let me cut this on. And then we do have adventures. So it looks like as it pertains to your creativity and your money, you're going to want to do something that you possibly feel like you haven't had an opportunity to do, Taurus. And it's looking like that has been what the focus is. and you're pissed off about it. You could be clashing with people in your in your individual environment. That second house story is not yet. Listen, that's what you rule, and it's feeling like you want to do something, but you're being pushed away and pulled away, and ultimately you want freedom. So there's something that you want to do, and it looks like there is a money story that is squaring your creativity and what you want to do versus maybe your obligations. Okay, take that as it resonates. If you're interested again in how this is going to be affecting you, please go and check me out on Instagram. There is a write-up on that in poster form. Let's move on to Gemini and Gemini rising. Gemini, this is going to be your first house squaring your fourth house. So the house of you, how you look to the world and things of that nature, and squaring Venus in your fourth house. And your past has you in an energy of change. There's been a lot of changes going on with you in that environment. Who you are is not who you were. Okay. Who you are now is not who you were. You have become more flexible in some ways in these changes because there's been a lot of changes. It feels like it could be a lot of five energies. The energy of five, maybe there was some losses that you had to take as a result of that. You have become more flexible and then focused. This has been a very popular card over the last three zodiac signs. So you could be crossing with both an Aries sun and rising and a Taurus sun and rising as it pertains to something that happened in the past. Okay, what do we have in our present energy here? What do we have in our present energy? And we have wonders. Now it looks like there is some things that you want to do. I am going to confer to this book for a second. It's looking like there's some things that you want to do, and you're open up right now to the wonders of the world. But I want to go specific on this one because it is wonders. Give me 1 second. And it's looking like, hold on. So many. It's looking like, there are some things that are in your way that you now want to do that you don't feel like should have to wait. And if I can get there, we will be okay. Obviously, they are in order. All right, so yes, just around the corner are excited possibilities. They're waiting for you. Wonders will be abounding in your life. Sometimes they won't be apparent at first, but nevertheless, they are there, Gemini Collective. Okay, the more you see and embrace them, the more possibilities grow in magnitude. You're being guided to celebrate and cherish even the smaller ones, no matter how tiny they may seem. You're being guided to let go of expectations. You're being guided not to limit yourself, not to limit the way that you think wondrous events could appear in your life. You're being guided to be open. And if you believe anything and everything is possible. So I wanted to get a specific energy for you on that, Gemini. And finally, give me energy for the future here. So this is really exciting. Now, this is going to be difficult. But you're opening up to new possibilities, Gemini. As I just read that specific message for you, and then you do have the card of patience. Again, you are definitely being guided to let expectations go. You are being guided to be open and, adapt the mindset that things are going to come. Now, I can tell you this is going to be tricky, but that is what we have, okay? All right, we're moving on to Cancer and Cancer rising. Cancer, this is happening for you. And I threw in the Sun opposed Neptune on my write-ups on Instagram, but I'm only talking about Venus versus Mars right now. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it was the weekend edition, but this could apply in either one of those, okay? Cancer, suns and risings. This is happening. Wow. This is happening for you in your 12th house that's ruled by Neptune, and it's going to be opposing Venus in the third. There's some illusions, and I don't know what you have in your chart, Cancer. I know some Cancer risings. I'm sorry. Let me move this out of the way. And if there is air there, this is probably going to be harder for you if you have an air sun or an air moon. So I'm telling you that right now. The unconscious behind the scenes squaring off with the planet of communication. Give me energy. You have solitude. You could be have Aries in your chart or connecting with an Aries. We do have embracing, and we also have abundance. This is what you could have experienced in the past and where you're being guided to focus on right now. You need to, in your solitude in this Mercury retrograde, possibly Cancerians, you're being guided to embrace the abundance of whatever is coming toward you. It's going to be a tricky weekend. And I'm telling you, when Venus versus Mars, it can get real nasty. Explosive things going on, pent up frustration. Show me present energy for Cancer, Sun, and Rising. And you also have 3 cards. You have flow. You're being guided to go with the flow this weekend, Cancer. You also have truth. There is a truth that will come out. Also, there could be some things that you have had to be patient about because of this truth. I'm telling you right now, when I see something that's going to come out in the Venus versus Mars in a square weekend, that's not going to be necessarily the greatest thing, collective. Okay, let me get your future card here. By the end of the weekend, what you could experience, or these are obviously timeless. All right, we do have courage. Wow, whatever this is, it's going to change you. It's going to change your perspective. And you're going to have the courage to accept what that is and move on gracefully from it, because it's going to change your life. Have the courage to step into your transformation, Cancer, because this is going to be rough. And it feels like, honestly, anything in the 12th house can bring illusion, delusion. And then when and Mercury is in retrograde, so that 3rd house square, it could be that the truth is coming out of something that you know, or it could be that this truth or this communication that is coming towards you that may be masked as the truth is not the truth. Either way, major transformations due to these transits that are happening this weekend. Let's move on to Leo and Leo rising. Wow, Leo, you are obviously crossing with the Cancer, Sun, and rising. Leo, suns, and risings, you are doing this in your 11th house. And it's going to be directly affecting your 2nd house, or squaring with your 2nd house. It was funny because when I was listening to this, you guys go super hard for your friends and people who you roll with. If there is a friend in distress or a partner in distress, and there's gonna be a square. There's gonna be a square in your friendship circles and being social with that 11th house stuff going on versus your money house. It's gonna directly square. Venus is all up in your money house, and Venus is how we look. Venus is all of our pleasures and all of that good stuff. So it could go down. All right. You are being guided to go with the flow, and flow has been very popular. You can be crossing with fire or water. I'm just going to overgeneralize it. What else do we have for Leo? What else do we have for Leo spirit? What do we have for Leo suns and Leo risings? I'm taking off the bat. We have success. So right now you are being successful. Look at that panther. In your endeavors. However, you do have a 2nd house square, so you should watch your spending. Okay. And then we have gateway in your future. I'm going to go ahead and read the energy specifically behind gateway. I can let you know that this feels like there needs to be more spirituality going on right now. I'm just going to let you know. Magic is afoot. Wondrous events are unfold, and profound revelations and inner illuminations. This is all your spiritual. Your spirit, you're being guided to open up your heart. There's some things spiritually, Leo, that you need to embrace. And one of the things that I know about you guys collectively is that you want to be given the answers, but this to me is telling me that the answers are within yourself, okay? So that is what I have for you this weekend. Please try not to lose your temper. This looks like it's definitely going to be a friend group, social something, trip, or something like that. Something being planned that's going to directly clash with your financial obligations. Okay. I don't know in what capacity. You can go and check that out on Instagram. We move on to Virgo sun, Virgo risings. Woo woo. This is going to be okay hitting you in your 10th house where Mars is. Flow is just a very popular card tonight. Everybody is crossing. Right now, you can be crossing with any of the previous zodiac signs, Virgo, before you. Okay. Flow is what you have had to do. Flow is not what you've been excited about. Okay. You do know how to go with the flow, Virgo, but only when you see fit. See, you have the beautiful duality of being able to be mutable Earth. Earth has one way, one vision, one path. You have the ability to cut it on and cut it off. Here's the caveat: only if you feel like you can, or if it's worth it. So with this happening in your 10th house right now, there are some changes going on around in your area of work, and it could be directly, is obviously directly squaring who you are. Possibly some changes going on in your career, changes that you don't want to happen. Flow is what we have, or some things that have happened in the workplace that has led up to some possible changes. Take it as it resonates. If you're interested in a blurb on this and what is happening, you can go and check it out on Instagram. What else do we have in present energy? We do have healing chaos. See, so there is some, look at that, that's a storm. There's some shit that just went down, Virgo. Now it may not affect you in your career. For some of you guys, we don't want to get too specific because it can be general for you. Some of you guys lost a job, losing a job, being laid off, going to another job. Whatever it was, there was something that you had to go with the flow about, or that you will have to go with the flow about, and it may come to a head this weekend, 3 days before, 3 days after, or be spilling over into next week. And right now, you are trying to heal that chaos, so you're definitely being guided to try not to lose your temper, okay? And it's crossing who you are. Unethical decisions, things forcing you to make decisions that you don't want to make. It's crossing who you are as a person, who you see yourself as, how you communicate. You are ruled by Mercury, and it's crossing to the core of who you are. Take it as it resonates, and we do end with potential. So the potential is there. There's fire in the mix. There's definitely some fire in the mix. The potential of happiness elsewhere, the potential of doing something a different way is there. Question is will you allow yourself to go there, to actually do that thing? Okay. All right. We move on to Libra and Libra rising. Libra collective, this one was an interesting one for us because Mars is in our ninth house, our Jupiter house, and it's crossing with 12th. Obviously, the sun is in the 12th right now if you are a Libra sun, because your season is coming up really soon. So it's the darkest before the dawn. That's how this astrology works, okay? And what's interesting about it is that, I've been sitting here trying to figure out how it could possibly cross. And I will definitely, Libras, let you guys figure that out. But what I am thinking, it may be, and it could be a possibility of a wide array of possibilities. But, Jupiter and Neptune, like both of them can be weird. I don't want to make this energy update too long for you guys, but some things with regards to what you may be experiencing as it pertains to what you want to do. You know, what do you want to do versus what's real? Like what's going on behind the scenes? Like Venus is like, oh my God. So the sun is definitely there, but as it pertains to this transit, Mars is in the ninth. It looks like Venus is in the 12th, which is, I don't really think Venus likes to be in the 12th, but whatever. Let's talk about it. Just make sure that you are aware of what's real. Like pulling the wool, not allowing someone to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm sorry, not allowing someone to, like, to sell you snake oil. Understanding what's real and what's fake. Energy is healing chaos. You're obviously crossing with a Virgo. Virgo energy is in here. So in the past, there was some chaos, Libra, and it may come right back. You may be healing from this chaos, and then the illusion comes back. For some of you guys, it could definitely be relationship stuff, okay? Then we have forgiveness. Yep. So in present energy, someone definitely wants your forgiveness. They took you through this chaos. Venus versus Mars, you are ruled by Venus. So guess what? Although it's hitting you here, it may boil down to Venus versus Mars and forgiveness and makeups and things of that nature. In the future, there is a voyage. Someone wants to go on a trip. Someone is planning something in your energy. There seems to be a planning of something. Voyage to me is very not necessarily literal, but there seems to be something here that someone wants to do. Someone wants to show you. It could be a cruise, very literally, or it just could be the voyage of, you know, you guys reconciling and moving into new waters. Okay, that feels like that for me. All right, let's move on to Scorpio and Scorpio rising. All right, Scorp. So Mars is in the 8th for you, and Venus is in the 11th. So your other this feels like other people. This obviously is other people. I was listening to it. Okay, another astrologer. And it was interesting. Maybe you being the mediator. I don't know about that, but maybe because when we're thinking about eighth house, that's the house of other people. That's where you rule. So you're comfortable there. You are. Mars, not necessarily Mars being there, but Scorpio suns and rises, obviously, you know, this is your house. And when it comes down to 11th, your associations, your social networks, your clubs, things of that nature, you may be called to do some type of mediation and mediate between two parties. But I will tell you, other people's money, that house is complicated, but you know that house very well. So it could be your energy all up and through there as it is pertaining to these groups that you belong to, and it's going to be some type of blow up. We have purification. Interesting enough with this one, it seems like there has been toxic energy. There has been. And it feels as if this weekend is going to come to a head. And it's time to make this situation or the less complicated as it can be. It's almost as if the whole situation needs to be tore down, or listen, the roots of the situation needs to be dug up and replanted, because this flower is not going to be able to continue to grow unless it is purified. I know that sounds weird. Openness. Okay, so right now there are some people that you are associated with, including yourself. There it feels toxic. There is something, backbiting, competition. There's something here, and no one or someone has wanted to be open, because it is not just about being honest about something. There is egos and toxicity involved in this situation. And then we do have enlightenment. Another energy regarding spirituality here, just like Leo's energy, it doesn't surprise me because they're fixed fire and you're fixed water. Putting these situations down and moving more into a situation where you are enlightened and taking the enlightened path, because Just because you know better doesn't necessarily mean that you do better. Okay. And we do have some zodiac signs that are more interested in controlling than to actually accept what they are telling someone else. That whole thing, that whole adage about if it's good enough for you, it should be good enough for me. Fixed energy doesn't feel like that. Fixed energy, and it's not just you, but fixed energy feels like it's good enough for you. And when it comes down to me, it's different. And so I don't know what this is, but I hope that the situation does not come to a head this weekend. We move on to Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Sag, this is all about Mars in your 7th. It looks like squaring Venus in the 10th. Relationships versus career. You don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. It feels like that's just not what you want to do. You have to understand that you want these 7th house relationships, but there's going to be a square, so something's going to come to a head this weekend. It could be at work, okay, with your business partnerships, or it can be relationship wise, okay, Sag. And right now, your focus. Venus is in the 10th telling you to do one thing, and then Mars is in the 7th telling you to do something else as it pertains to those areas. Adventures is what you want to go on. This is who you are. And you can have several different parties to go on these adventures with. It looks like it may be come down to very literally a vacation with someone. But then love with that 7th house energy is in your present energy. Someone loves you or you love them. It doesn't look like it, they want your time. They want to go on adventures with you, maybe. They want you, Sag. And you, on the other hand, you want to focus on your money. You want to go on these adventures by yourself. You want to love them, but you don't want the obligation of what love brings, maybe. And then we do have patience. So you too are waiting on something to pop off in your career. And it doesn't seem like this 7th house story is very happy with what's going on. You may be constantly on a paper chase and someone wants to spend some time with you. It may be just as simple as that. Whatever you're chasing, you are also being guided to be patient. And this weekend may really bring some of those tensions to the surface. Okay. So beware of that. We move on to Capricorn and Cap rising. Hello, Capricorn. All right. So Cap, 6th house, where's Mars? That's where Mars is. It's squaring the 9th house. That's interesting to me too, because 6th house is your service. It's like almost like, very, very base level, like your service versus your 9th house story. Like your, 9th house is your Jupiter house. So it's funny though, because I get this energy, because it's almost as if I've been pulled in those directions too. Although this doesn't necessarily apply to me because this isn't my rising, but from a moon perspective, your service versus maybe what you want to do. And this is a Capricorn story all the time, right? Collective. So it's like, what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. For expansion, things that we may want to do versus the service, what we have to do. You could look at it like that. Let's find out. That may come to the surface this weekend, 3 days before, 3 days after. Let's find out where we are. Show me for Capricorn taking risks. That's really interesting. Your daily routines with that 6th house, your service, your health as well. Maybe something that you need to do. These houses cover a wide variety of things. So if you're interested in that, go and check it out. Don't take it literally, but the energy that is surrounding you is definitely about taking risk. But present energy, you're walking in your abundance right now. It definitely may come to a head this weekend. 3 days before, 3 days after, you could be already experiencing this. How is taking risk, taking that risk, that 9th house risk? How is it going to affect my duty, my service? Is it going to affect? It's not necessarily 6th house is not necessarily the money house, but I associate it, especially when I'm talking to a Capricorn. I associate it with that only because it is the structure of, you know, earning the money, and your service is a large part of who you are. And then we do have going forward. So taking risk for abundance going forward is really, I mean, I can't even make this up. Like, so the path is open. You will be successful either way. You know, ninth house, although it's squaring, Venus is there, you know, that's awesome because Venus is also money as well. So there is a calculated risk that you need to take, whether it's working with someone, branching off on your own. You know, if you're interested in, you know, what I had to say about that, go ahead and see what's up for uploaded on Instagram for your sign. Okay. Let's move on to Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Look at that. So Mars in the fifth for you. This is happening. This tango is taking place in your fifth versus your eighth. What do you want to do to make you happy? Your creativity. What does Aquarius want to do versus what they want to do? You know, versus what I have to do for you, other people. You know, the you know, that eighth house story, that Scorpio house. Like, Lord knows, Aquarius, okay? I understand. So your creativity, you, what makes you happy, the house of love, all of that for you versus I'm obligated over here. I got to do this. You know, it's always something complicated energy over here in this eighth. That's where Venus is. Like, look, you're going to love me, you know, like Jennifer Holiday. So let's find out what's going on for you guys collectively. Stillness. So whatever you're planning, you got to be still. In your past energy, as this card can also represent that as well. You wanted to take a calculated action. You wanted to do something. You're not happy with something. Okay. You're clearly not happy with something as it pertains to other people, your money, your taxes, whatever that eighth house represents for you. You're not happy about it. But you're being guided right now, Aqua, to just be still. This has been a very popular card. That's this fifth house stuff, adventures and things that you want to do. You have a wide, a vast and wide imagination, fantasies in fifth house, like what you want to do, like little things that you want to do to bring some happiness and peace back into your life. That's what you want to do, or you're starting to even you've been thinking about it, but now your wheels are turning. It may come to a head this weekend, starting tomorrow. So I'm just letting you know that. And then we do have diligence. Um, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I heard diligence, I thought about taxes. If you're starting something, whatever you're doing right now in Mercury retrograde, check it and recheck it. I know some Aquarians as well as myself. If you're having some type of car issues or something that you have to fix, warranted or not, just, you know, make a list and check it twice. I know this isn't Christmas, but be diligent in your movements and your actions because you are being guided to be still on one hand. And like I said, this is that energy about what I want to do creatively versus what I have to do or who I'm obligated to. Okay. So just be diligent in whatever you decide. Okay, Aquarius. And finally, we are going and moving on to Pisces. Pisces, this is interesting because I do know a Pisces that's going through this exact thing. This tango with Venus and Mars, or Mars square Venus, is happening in your fourth house of home versus your relationships, your seventh house. This is actually very, very true. I know a couple of Pisces who are going through this. My heart goes out to you guys. Something on the home front, something that is getting on your damn nerves in the home front. And that fourth house is huge. Okay, so when you take a look at where it's hitting you in the description box, and you take a look at, you know, what these houses are, don't just get stuck on what I may be saying. Just like in tarot readings, you know, it's not going to apply. Take it as it resonates. But I will say, your house of home is you want to do something. Mars is there wanting to do something. Let's turn this mother out. Let's do this. Let's do that. You got to go. You got to go. This need to be fixed. That need to be painted. Whatever, Pisces, right? There's something in the home front. Somebody got to go. Somebody coming. When I see Pisces in fourth house, especially this has been going on for you with you guys, but when I see Mars there, Mars obviously is the planet of action, and Mars wants some shit to happen. Excuse my language. But when Venus is in the seventh house, because that's where she's comfortable, then there is another story. Do you want someone to move in with you? Do you yearn for somebody to be living with you, but you can't because you have an obligation? Whatever this is, it's going to blow up this weekend. Not necessarily in a bad way, Pisces. It could just be that something sparks you to be annoyed. When Venus squares Mars, they fight. So, something is going to hit the fan that's just going to bring you right back to this energy of something in this fourth house story is really getting on your damn nerves. Everywhere that Mars is the annoyance, in my opinion, in the way that I am interpreting that. And with Venus over here on this other side, it's almost as if, pay attention to me. What about me? So that may be the story. Purification, just like with Scorpio, you may be crossing with one. It needs to be purified. This to me is it needs to change. It needs to be less toxic. When I see purification, I immediately think something is toxic. The people there, the environment, maybe the person you want to move in or out is toxic. That needs to change. Okay, when we're talking about present energy, relaxation, you can't relax. You can't catch a break. You want peace. You're not at home in your own home. You know what I'm saying? So I know, like, there's some parts of what's going on in your home story where you can't relax. And it doesn't even have to have anything to do with necessarily another person. Remember, seventh house is not just, your partnerships in love. It's also business partnerships. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you not happy with your mortgage, your rent, some type of story as it pertains to a partnership, aka lease, contractual obligation. You're just not happy. You ready to move. You looking around like, you know what? It's time to get out of here. I don't got to go home, but I got to get the hell out of here. So, obviously, you're in an environment where you can't relax. It's taking a toll on you, Pisces. You're tired of something as it pertains to that home story, and you've been doing something, but maybe something stops you in your tracks, or maybe you don't get a chance to finish something, whatever it is, and then fulfillment. You're not fulfilled. I know a couple of Pisces like this too. You bought the house. You're not happy. This is what happens when we place energy on objects, because objects don't bring us happiness. And so you bought the house. You're not happy. You bought the car. You're not happy. Fourth house stuff. You got the pool. You're not happy about something. Whatever you tried to do, you could have just tried to make a house a home, and you're just not happy. It's not bringing you the fulfillment that you thought that you would have. Okay. Wow. I love this, guys. Take it easy this weekend. It's going to be rough. It doesn't have to be, as my favorite astrologer says. Yes, it can be tricky, but as long as you know that it's coming up, you can breathe your way through it. Like, share, subscribe to the Marvelous Tribe. Everything that you need is below in the description box. Please go check out your weekly energy. This is the weekend update. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.